All right, Brian, I'm going to go over the truck controls real quick so you'll be better off than everybody else in your class. As I sit down, my steering wheel's right here. Bring it down, whatever. Right here's a panel. I don't know if you can see these. They're all different light indicators if something bad happens. Then you look over here and you just match it up with like this stop engine light is this first top light right here. Low brake pressure is that one right there, and so on. So it tells you what they all mean, different gauges. That's pretty much anything that goes wrong, it'll show you right here. You got your temperature gauge, all that, just normal gauges, speedometer, odometer, all that junk. Right here, your switches. System fault, these things run on electricity, so if you get a system fault, you reset it. When these lights go off, one of these lights right here go off, you reset it with this. And then the rest of the stuff's not, it's not that important. It's got normal blinker, just like a car, horn, beep beep, doing well. And then your center control panel right next to where you sit. This is your transmission, forward and reverse. There's no gears, it's all electric, so it's, forwards one gear, reverse one gear. This is your retarder speed control right here. This is, there's 3 brakes in this system. There's a service brake. Service brake is this far left pedal right here. You only use that if you're going under 3 miles an hour. If you go over 3 miles an hour and use that thing, you're going to get busted. It sends, everything's recorded, so you do that. This is your main brake, which is like an engine retarder. It's actually a dynamic brake. This is what you use all the time. This thing only, once you go over 20 miles an hour, you lose your retarding braking effort, and under 3. So from 3, it works okay. 20, it works good. 25, after 25, you have no brakes with this thing. So then you have to use your service brake because you can't stop otherwise. Then there's what's known as a load brake. And the load brake is just this right here. This load brake only locks up your rear dual tires. You use this when you're getting loaded and when you're dumping. This right here is so we don't use this very much at all. This is designed for when you're hauling a trailer behind these things. You could take the bed off and hook a trailer up and move equipment around with these. But this is just like your service. It's an extension of your service brake. It's just smoother. It's smoother than using the pedal. But we don't use that really at all. This little knob right here is how you turn on your retarded speed control, which is your dynamic. So what this is designed to do when you're going down the haul road, if you take your foot off the accelerator, once this thing, wherever you put this dial, like right here, once I hit 20 miles an hour, it's going to start using your retarder, so I don't have to manually do it. It's like a cruise control kind of. So this right here is your park brake. When you park up, see it's lit up, that means it's engaged. To turn this on or off, you have to have this thing up. See, now that I pulled it, you hear it snap up. That means that the load brake's on. Now I could turn this off, and then I could turn it back on. So I turn this off. Once I push that down, then I have no brakes set. This right here is your emergency steering. If your truck dies out and you're driving down the road, and you only have so much steering in this, or like hydraulic oil in these cylinders, once you use that, there's a spare cylinder. So if you pull that, you could still steer even for a little while, for like 15 seconds or something like that, even after you run out, your truck dies, you run out of what's in your main tank, and you pull that emergency tank. Air conditioning controls, radio, it's a little radio. This is how we start it right here. It's like the key, yeah, all that stuff. That's it. This is our modular right here. This is how dispatch communicates with us. You'll learn about that. But really, that's it. That's all there is to the truck. Gas. It says like a 2-second delay on it because it's a diesel motor that pushes electric motors. So when you hit that, it'll rev up, and then 2 seconds after you hit it, it'll engage and start moving. Retarder brake, service brake. Only use this under 3.5 miles an hour. If you use it over that, you get fired. I mean, you can use it, have to, but if you continually use it, it's bad. This is what you use all the time. And that is it. So sequence for what you do: get out, pull this, turn that off, push that back down. Now I have no brakes. And then I could put it in gear, plop, take off. That's it. So I'm parked up right now. I just did all my compartment checks and all that. That's it. There's your horn. Tilt steering. Twist this. If you want to pull it out towards you, push it down. Whatever. And I think that's it, man. Now you can run a truck. This switch right here is for when you shut this truck off. You have to flip this switch, and it's a timer. It'll shut your truck down at 3 minutes after you flip that switch.
50, those are dispatch.
And then after you do that, you have a flip that switch. It's like a master switch on all Caterpillars. They have it right out in front of the cab. You have to hit that. If you don't do that, if you don't hit that, then hit the master switch, you're going to get a system fault, and you won't be able to start your truck. So you have to have an electrician come out and reset your. There's a main panel.
To dispatch.
Main panel is right here. That's the main panel right there for all the electrical stuff. Electrician will come in here. He'll go over there, reset it, and then after once he resets
Doug, this 58 dozer is down. It's missing the skid plate in the middle.
Once he resets it, then you hit this system reset switch, and then you can take off. Here's your little indicator lights. This one right here means my brake's set. See if I take off my brake, see it just went off. That means I have no brakes. Now I brake, brakes, no brakes, brakes, no brakes. That one's simple, brights. RSC is that retarded speed control, which is your cruise control. That's always on. When I dump my bed in the air, that one will light up. A lot of trucks will buzz, super annoying. This one, the buzzer's dismantled, which is cool. It's a safety issue though. It's actually supposed to work, but I'm not going to complain about that because it sucks because the buzz is so loud, it drives you nuts. But it's good. We had a guy here that had his bed up in the air one time, drove off, and it's like 45 feet in the air when that bed's up, and he smashed into a conveyor belt and broke it. Cost the company like $1.5 million. So here, once again, this is your retarder, forward and reverse, service brake that you don't use hardly that much at all, and this is your load brake. So you use this a lot. Load brake. A lot of guys will pop that when they're still going like 2-3 miles an hour. The loader will tell you to stop, hit his horn, like plop. This locks up your rear 4 wheels. This brake locks up all wheels. This one's just your rears, and it's a retarder. So you hit this, it takes a couple seconds to engage. And you'll hear your engine RPM will kick up, and then you'll start feeling the braking effort. But that's it, man. Let's see if anything else important. This right here is a monitor they give us. I don't really even have to see if I can turn it on. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the screen, but mine's kind of cruddy. It gives it, there's 3 cameras positioned. You have, and this is your switch for the cameras right here. Oh, that's load brake. So I flip that, see, here, click. This is the camera in front of me, to my right, and to the rear. I just keep it on the rear, but I usually turn the screen off and don't use it. I use it at night, because at night you can't see when you're backing up, but that will still pick stuff up, so you back up to the screen. The only time I ever use it is at night. Radio, very important, has XM on it. And that's really about it. Here's your windshield wipers. And that is it, dude. Oh, sorry, dump lever. There's no PTO or anything. All you do to dump it is pull this up. Push it down. If you push down, if you hold it down, it'll come down a little faster. But you don't want to hold it down and then have the bed drop on you. I mean, it's not that rough at all. Not like normal dump trucks. These things are way smoother. But this is your dump lever. Up, down. I sprayed Windex on it, forgot to wipe it off. Gross. This is where you keep your, we call AccuWipes. Every truck has them. You got to wipe your truck. I Windex everything because people pick their nose all day long. That's it. Wipe off my door handles. And I've already wiped off my steering wheel. Who cares? Hour meter. Like this thing has 26,000 hours on this engine. Fuel gauge, which doesn't work. Oh, this button right here. This checks all your lights. See, I push that. All my lights and buzzers come on just to make sure. Move that. Just to make sure they're working. See, I have one light that's out, but let's see if I count down. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I go over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's my auto lube light doesn't work. These things lube themselves. So that's what it looks like. There's one more set of lights than there is lists over here. The bottom one, bottom left, is my timer letting me know I'm going to shut my truck off. That means I hit. When this bottom one goes off, that means I just hit this switch. Let me see if I can get it to go on. No, I don't have my brake on. Anyway, other than that, this bottom right one is like a transmission temperature or something. Even though this thing doesn't have transmission, some kind of gear. Maybe that's why it's not listed. But these are all your lights. Headlight. This is like a light for my ladder, so if when I go up the ladder, I can see what I'm doing. I don't ever use that one. And my berm light. This is the light that shoots off. It's actually mounted right. That's my blinker indicator, but it's like right around here. One of these lights, and it shoots a light down right to my left. It'll shoot down like right here. That's the one I'm driving by a berm. You're supposed to drive to a berm on the left-hand side. You check for cracks in it. That way, when you turn your right and then you back up to it, if there's cracks on it, it'll cave and it'll fall down. So you're supposed to check for cracks. And I do, you know, I've only seen one crack that's been over like an inch. If they're over an inch, you don't want to dump on it an inch wide because it could fall or whatever. When you're driving down the haul road, if you see a windrow, I put my windrow right in between this rail and that rail. I'll set it like right here, and then you could straddle it or a rock and it won't crush it. So that's a good reference point for you. A little fire extinguisher right here. And that's my camera mount right there, so for my front view it shoots it down so I can see what I can't see in front of me right now. And that's really about it. We're in lineup. There's trucks all down to my right. We're waiting to get waved out for the morning. See, it's like 7:50. We started work at 7 and I still haven't moved yet. So that's how we chill here. Let me get this truck. This right here, that right there is the fuel tank, real big, holds lots of fuel. If you look in that rear motor right there, you see there's like a blue cap, which is that right there. That's your electronic motor or traction motor. That's what turns those wheels. That's electric motor. You know, diesel engine's up behind that tire, which pushes that blue traction motor. Each rear dual has one of those traction motors. And that's about it, man. I don't know. These things, it's difficult as it gets. Yeah. See what this guy is next to me. That's it. That's the passenger seat. Not very comfortable. That's where your trainer will be sitting. And you'll switch off with them. If you're cool, you'll switch off with them. If you're not cool, you won't. Because this driver's seat's more comfortable. That's it. Hope it helps you out. At least I'll make you familiar with it. The simulator looks just like this thing. The simulator is pretty accurate. Your radio's mounted right there. That's my trash bag. That's it, man.